Apologies to everybody out there for technical difficulties, but I am here. I am the sniper, and this is Tyler Ingram, ladies and gentlemen. My new partner for the night. Well, we've been partners for years, you know what I'm saying? But this is Top Rope Talk, the Wrestlemania XL recap edition. We had a hell of an extravaganza this past weekend. Tyler, I know me and you were back and forth on the messages, man. First of all, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. You all set to put on the show today?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, let's get into it.
well, first of all, usually we are on Eve Mux, but that was having difficulty, so we are live on StreamYard tonight. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna recap some matches from WrestleMania XL, and it was an awesome turnout in Philadelphia. The venue was great. We even happened to get James Ingram into it. James Tatum into it. Who knew that he would actually sit through an entire pro wrestling pay-per-view? And we're actually going to get his thoughts this Friday on a gauntlet about his experience in watching it. But want to go on and get some matches in for WrestleMania Night 1. We'll start off with Rhea Ripley retaining the championship, the World Women's Championship, against Becky Lynch. Oh, hang on a second. We have the wrestling professor himself, Billy Cruz. How you doing, brother?
Hey, we're doing all right. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. You just in time. This is my man Tyler up here, fellow pro wrestling fan, sports fan, and everything. So, yeah, we were just getting started and just letting everybody know, awesome pay-per-view this past weekend. We'll talk later on how it ranks and everything, but we're getting on to the first match real fast, and that was Rhea Ripley successfully defending the Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch. Was anybody surprised that she retained the championship? Tyler, you go.
Yeah, no, I'm not. And I think it was like maybe the backstage kind of talk about Seth wanting a break, Becky wanting a break. So I just didn't think it was the time for Rhea, to lose. She's so over right now with all the fans, being a heel, but not really being a heel, if you know what I mean. Like, she had such a pop when Motionless and White, sang their song as she came out, which I actually thought was cool. I saw a lot of people were really commenting on that, but like, this is good because like getting metalcore fans involved in pro wrestling is also very important. We want to have a bunch of different, age groups and different, demographics out there. So having someone like Motionless and White do the intro for Rhea Ripley live, I thought was actually a good thing too. But no, I wasn't surprised at all. I was actually kind of surprised it went longer than I thought, which is good, for Becky. Becky definitely can perform and put on, great matches. But I was kind of thinking it was going to be not a squash match necessarily, but I thought it was going to be fairly quick. But yeah, it was a good kick to the show on night one.
Mm-hmm. And considering, and speaking to you, Billy Cruz, considering that Becky Lynch actually was wrestling with strep throat, so she's going in with twice the adversity. But your thoughts on the match?
Hey, like my man said, hey, it's all good. Like I was not surprised or shocked that Rhea had retained. You know what I mean? Like Becky at the end, she was just like upset, but she already knew the outcome of how she needs to take a break because that gets into the Seth Rollins thing later on when you want to discuss that. So he pretty much nailed it on a pinpoint. Like I was not shocked or I was hyped because I love Becky Lynch. Don't get me wrong, and I love Rhea, but Rhea needs to go ahead and make a story because there was a little backstage thing that I saw a clip of with her and Charlotte hugging. So maybe that's gonna come out to be a venture with that. And while Becky takes a break with Seth, because Seth's needed, like I said, we'll get to that Seth thing. Seth needs to take a break. So Becky's probably gonna take the break with him. So I called it, you know what I mean? Like I nailed it. Like Rhea's gonna win, and it's no shocker to me.
Yeah, for as dominant.
But it was an amazing match.
It was.
I did agree with that. It was an amazing match,
Yeah, it was good.
and
It was solid.
it was good. Near fall after near fall. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. So
No, no,
that's my
absolutely.
outtake on that because he pretty much nail pointed on that. So
Okay. And so we'll move on to our next matchup in night one. And Tyler, me and you both called it the 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed tag team championships. I did not see A Town Down winning the SmackDown
Oh,
tag
I
titles,
did.
but I was awesome. I know you
hey,
saw it. I know you saw it
you
coming.
like
But I
which one do you like, Grayson or Austin?
I actually, out of the two, I like Grayson Allen more, to be honest. You know,
Thank you.
as a wrestler, I think he's got more charisma, even. So I think he's more marketable. So you want me to hop into this one, Jay?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
Just your thoughts about the match.
when this match got booked, I knew the first thought that came to my mind was the whole Damien's going after, going to cash in. So I thought, okay, they're not going to keep they're not going to keep the tag titles on Damien because they're going to put Damien in a different picture. WWE creative is. So I was immediately thinking, okay, what's going to happen? Then we got the stipulation about the belts could be split. So when I heard that, the stipulation, I said, okay, two teams are going to walk out with gold, and I don't think it's going to be Judgment Day. So then I started thinking about it, and I immediately was thinking, well, this needs to be R-Truth's moment. R-Truth
Yep.
has been, he's so needed too in WWE programming. People that comedy aspect of WWE. I mean, we go back to like the tag teams of like Booker T and Goldust. Goldust was so loony, Looney Tunes, but you need that. It's so needed. And then you look at like Alpha Academy and Tozawa and all of that. So it's so needed in WWE. So I had Awesome Truth winning, and then I thought heel tag team. It's got to be a heel tag team that gets
Yeah.
the other belt. I just didn't think
True.
it could be two babyface tag team champions at the time. So then that's when I went with A Town Down Under. Also, even though Vince isn't in the picture, they really pushed Austin Theory when Vince was in the picture. He
Yep.
really tried to build him up. So I think like Triple H is kind of like I I don't want to use the word save, but kinda. You know what I mean? He's kind of trying to keep Austin Theory in the mix with things.
He knows how
So that's
talented
where,
he is.
yeah, and I think people can say what they want, about. Of course, like as fans, most fans are watching and they're rooting for babyface, babyface, babyface. But you have to have like you. If you're a pro wrestling fan, you have to appreciate the heel aspects of things too. And I
Right.
think when you look at heel tag teams, A Town Down Under actually makes a lot of sense to be tag team
They do.
champions because now they're going to be able to do a lot more skits with it, a lot more segments with it, and they're going to be able to build off of that. So I actually thought the match was great. When that first got booked, I was a little bit like iffy, like, oh, that's a lot of teams, a lot going on in this. But I thought the match was great. It was actually it was my second favorite match of night one.
Okay, okay, not bad at all. Billy, what do you think? Especially with an awesome truth and our truth finally after all these years getting a win at WrestleMania.
Yeah, super cool, super cool.
now my intake, Awesome Truth, they reunited. It's great. He pretty much nailed that on the button too. Like, hey, the match was great. It is my second match, like literally that took WrestleMania weekend away, like blew it off the roof. Like, I loved the match. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Right when I saw Austin Theory, I'm not an Austin Theory fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry, Tyler.
Mhm.
You're
um,
all good. You're all good.
I am a Grayson Waller fan though. I love him. I dance to his theme every single time. Um, I was happy for them that they won, and I was just like, yes, okay, now who's going to get the Raw belts? Wow, okay. And then it was back and forth, neck and forth, and I'm like, okay, well, and then I see our troop coming up there, and then Miz helps. I believe it was Miz. I can't remember. Because it was night one. Um,
It
but
was
they
Miz.
helped. It was Miz that helped them out, and then basically they went up there and they won the belts and they hugged it out, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. This is what they needed. This is what needed Mrs. Push, heel or no heel.
Hmm.
Truth being funny as it is, I loved them to death. So it was a great match, and he nailed it. And it was the second match, like my favorite of WrestleMania weekend. Like literally,
I
like
wouldn't.
I'll tell you my
I
number one. Like he'll tell you what was your favorite number one match after you
Oh, we'll
do
get
your
to
little
it.
deadline.
We'll get to it.
I
Mm-hmm.
also think it could be a little bit of a longer title run for Awesome Truth because SummerSlam's in Cleveland and they're gonna want to put Miz in that picture in Cleveland.
Yep,
Absolutely, yes, yes, exactly. So they're gonna have the belts for quite a while,
over the summer.
especially with
For
them
that.
being fan favorites.
Yeah, and not to mention, before we move on, our truth has a real title on him finally, and not that 24/7
Yeah.
bullshit. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah, exactly.
but moving on to our next one, and this one here was a probably for the match and for all the hype, probably the biggest disappointment of the weekend, and that was brother versus brother, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. And even then, Bleacher Report. It was the lowest rated match, and even then, Bleacher Report gave it a C plus, which I would give it that. I'd give it about a C plus. It was not near a great match, but it wasn't terrible. It was very, very average. Like it looked like a match that could happen on SmackDown or Raw. You know, so like watch tonight. We might see a rematch of the two and get a better match than we saw at Mania, knowing how WWE works sometimes. But first, I'm gonna swing it down to Billy and get your thoughts about this match. A little underwhelming to you, or was it right on par?
Hey, look, man, I was really looking forward to this match, really, because brother versus brother, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. You know what I'm saying? You had Dory Funk Jr. versus Terry Funk. You know what I'm saying? Brother versus brother type thing.
Yeah,
Um,
Jeff versus Matt. Yeah.
and then you had Stevie Ray versus Booker T. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like brother versus brother. Like I expect high expectations. Um, but this match, it was like I felt like it was like a 2 out of 5, like literally, because I went in there high expectations and then I got low expectations, if you know what I mean. Like super kick after super kick, and then how Jimmy was like, "Oh no," and then Jay was like, and then you can outcome the story. I mean, it is a story with it, but you can outcome the match. You can see it like predictably on
Play out,
how
yeah.
it's gonna come out. Like it should have been a little bit more better than how they built it up. They were building it up with so much hype, and you would expect that. Like I was saying, Bret Hart and Owen Hart, that was like
Mhm.
the best brother versus brother match in my opinion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? WrestleMania 10.
Plus, it
So
had the surprise to it. And I think a lot of people thought Brett was going to win that match. So,
yeah, and then Owen won.
right,
I mean, for the match that happened, if this was like a best 2 out of 3 falls and this was the first fall, I'd have been all
it
right with
should have
that
been that too.
because we know falls 2 and 3 are going to be bangers. If this was like a
Hmm.
2 out of 3 falls and this was the first fall, okay, cool. The first fall is usually a little slow, but this was a one fall to a finish, and like that's what we got. So, Tyler, what are your thoughts about the match, real quick?
yeah, I don't think I have to say much. I think Billy pretty much nailed it. My dude did. I thought this was the most overhyped match of WrestleMania, or biggest letdown, I should say, of WrestleMania. I think a lot of people were thinking they were going to steal the show,
Hmm.
and they
I thought
were
so too.
they were down there with Philadelphia Street Fight for me. So yeah, that's the way I feel. So.
And Philadelphia Street Fight actually was pretty decent. At least that got a B on Bleacher Report. But moving on,
I saw a C, but go ahead.
moving on to another big match on the card. We'll just cover some of the big matches here, because we only got so much time. So, first upset of the weekend: Sami Zayn dethrones Gunther after a 666-day reign as champion. They're calling it one of the biggest upsets in WrestleMania history. Starting off with Tyler, your thoughts on Sami Zayn winning the title? Do you think Gunther dropping the belt was the right move?
So this shocked me. Okay, I was wrong on this. I can admit when I'm wrong. I thought Gunther was going to retain. I know they're going to push him, but I didn't know that Sammy was gonna do it. So I will also say this was my favorite match of night one. I love the
Okay.
whole thing that they did with Sammy. I love the backstage, him with his son and his wife, him coming in there, Kevin, telling Kevin and Chad saying, "You owe me one." So now we know that we're going to basically feed families with the Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn feud, because that's going to be amazing. And
Right.
that's what it seems like we're going. That brain buster from the top rope was probably the
Sickest move of the match.
best move of the entire WrestleMania.
I agree.
That was sick. So yeah, I loved it. Dude, bravo to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn killed it at WrestleMania.
He did, absolutely. And then you, Billy, do you think that Sami Zayn picking up the victory was the correct move, or should Gunther have retained?
Man, that was an amazing match too, but it's like maybe my top five of the whole WrestleMania out of the 13 matches or whatnot. So top five. It was a pretty good match. It was solid.
I would say
He
night
kicked
one.
out after kicked out. I thought it was done because you know how Walter, excuse me, Gunther, he gets that power bomb. He's like, I'm sick. I'm done. I'm gonna finish this. Pick your ass up. I'm sorry. Can I say that in public?
You can say ass, it's fine.
So he picks him up and power bombs him, and then does this little thing, his little clothesline thing, and then boom, pins him. 1, 2, kick out, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And Corey, not Corey, was it Pat McAfee?
Yep. Oh,
Yeah, it
Streamy
was that.
disappeared. Okay, there it is.
And so yeah, it was like I don't think it was the right time. Maybe tomorrow, like tonight, Raw, would he lose? You know what
That's
I mean? Like
interesting.
lose it at Raw tonight. Keep it at WrestleMania. Lose it tonight.
Well,
So after about a year,
what's
go ahead, Tyler. I'm
interesting
sorry.
about that match is I didn't even want Sammy in the match. Like I was really rooting for Chad Gable to
You
get
wanted
that
Chad
title.
Gable, yeah.
Chad Gable, exactly.
Yeah, but I thought, and I'm just going off of night one. Obviously, I don't think it was my favorite match of the entire WrestleMania. But of night one, I think it was my favorite because it was a surprise that I didn't see coming.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, but this was Sammy's, moment, and big, props to him. Gunther,
Yep.
I'll say this and I'll leave it at that. I've got Gunther winning Royal Rumble 2025. He should not go back after the Intercontinental title anymore.
2 years in a row, he was trying to win that.
And we'll
You know what I mean? And he didn't come
We'll
through.
see if MJF's in the picture or not. But yeah.
He's pulling for MJF to come to WWE
boy.
so hard, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there's a
and then
whole
now
wrench
for our-
in it, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and then the final match of match one, of course, the famous tag team, tag team match, which saw the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns, defeat Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins, and with a match like this, and I think I heard Pat McAfee say something along the lines of it was the second longest match, and
it was too long.
And you know what? That might have been the only downfall, because I didn't have one problem with the match, but yeah, 44-minute tag team match. I mean, but it entertained the crowd. It kept people juiced and everything. And the biggest take that I got out of this is The Rock might not be 24 years old anymore, but he can still hang at 52 years old. But I'm swinging over,
especially after abdominal surgery or whatnot he had a few years ago.
Absolutely, yeah. But I'm gonna take it to Tyler real quick and get your thoughts about this match. Of course, they won. Bloodline rules for the next night. I think it was the right move because WWE's not gonna pass up an opportunity to have a non-DQ overall main event. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought so. I actually thought Roman, and maybe it's because he was doing double duty, or maybe, it's a lot of work for a part timer like Roman Reigns. I don't know, but I don't know if he was saving a lot of energy. I thought Roman was kind of weak in this match, to be completely honest.
Mm,
Um,
Yep.
I,
Yep.
I actually thought I actually thought The Rock was kind of carrying him in this match a little bit.
you may
Um,
have.
and yeah, I have no issue with it. I knew it was going to go that way. I knew it was going to be bloodline rules because we knew it was going to be like the Avengers Endgame scenario for main event. So of night two. So I wasn't surprised by it. It was a little long for me. I'll be honest. And maybe they're showing
Oh
like
yeah.
the cardio of The Rock, but I thought this could have been trimmed a little bit. It could have been 10 or 15 minutes shorter, in my opinion, even.
Yeah, no. That's a fair take. I thought, me personally, I thought it was going to go no longer than 30 minutes, and we just kind of saw everything happen. We knew The Rock would throw his, position around to make it a no count out. And y'all saw me coming. I'm like, yeah, he's making it no DQ, no count out. We saw this coming. Going down to Billy, your thoughts and how this match turned out for you?
Hey, I mean, I'm gonna cut it short and sweet, like simple and plain. Like it was too long, the tag team match,
Hmm.
and like the final boss comes in. That entrance was fire, of course. We've all
Yeah,
seen
he
it.
killed
You
it
know
with
what I mean?
entrances. Yeah.
But if as fans and workers or whatnot, and behind scenes people or anything, you would know per se and off the aspect on what's going to be the outcome of night two, because he already stated bloodline rules, so I already knew I was not. The match was like a 2 out of 5 to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, The Rock is gonna beat your ass, Mama Rhodes, Mama Rhodes. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna beat his ass. Okay, pretty much like, yeah, it was like not to my aspects of my cup of tea. And that was the main event of the night two.
of night one. Yeah,
Or night one, yeah, my bad.
night
Yeah,
one.
night one. Yep.
Hmm.
Night two is
Hmm.
Roman and damn. See? Roman again.
And I thought
Yeah,
it was a lot to have such a long match like that following what Sammy did against Gunther was also kind of like a weird they could have placed it better. I mean, I kind of see what they did. The WWE
Did we
having
lose
Bailey
you?
and Sandy both win titles, and they put it both before the main event, making it like the co-main event of each night. But still, I thought if you're gonna have Sammy put that much energy into things and get all the fans worked up, I don't know, it could have been placed better. I thought in the card.
yeah, no, absolutely. And so, well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into night two, and let's kick off the festivities with this man, the opening match on night two. Drew McIntyre defeating Seth freaking Rollins by pinfall. And then he goes and talks some. He had his moment. I thought the best moment of WrestleMania was Seth Rollins tearfully telling him, "You effing deserve it," and then he walks away. And and then he goes and he just could not just walk to the locker room. And he
Mm-hmm.
got his moment. Drew McIntyre goes and talks smack to CM Punk. CM Punk attacks him, and then this man comes out and wins the title by cashing in Money in the Bank. Tyler, your thoughts on this? Because we called this for weeks, brother.
Hey,
Yeah.
I called it too
Uh,
now.
Yeah, Belly, you
Yeah,
did too. You
and
did too.
Billy too. I mean, I
Hmm.
think I think they, and they kind of teased it to like all the fans on Raw when Damien told Rhea, WrestleMania is not just a important night for us as a group, but for us as individuals.
Yeah,
So we knew that Damien was going to cash in. So like when Drew won, as soon as he went over to talk to CM Punk, that's kind of when I knew it was going to happen because I
yeah,
knew that CM Punk wasn't going to just sit there and take it. So I I still think leading up to WrestleMania, what a masterful job that Drew McIntyre did with his dialogue and talking and really getting people excited for his match. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Damian Priest winning is interesting. It adds a new wrinkle. We don't know if Damian Priest and Drew are gonna do it in the Clash at the Castle and Drew's area. Maybe that's what they're setting up. But a lot of interesting things can come from this now. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And me personally, I thought it was the best match on the card. Like on the whole WrestleMania card, I thought it was the best match. Billy, your thoughts?
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay, you thought it
I
was
had
the
this the
best.
best match on. I had this the best match on WrestleMania 40. Go ahead, man.
Oh,
Interesting. Interesting.
okay. Well,
I liked it.
short and sweet on that. Hey, I loved it too. It was a great match.
Uh,
But I already knew the outcome of this because Seth's got to take a break, and then Drew was talking all that smack to CM Punk, and then CM Punk's like, and then he hit him. He took his brace off, you know what I'm saying, and then he put it on the other, and then hit bam, and then he hears that music, and then CM Punk is like, okay, I don't have to beat your ass no
yeah,
more. I'm gonna let him do it. He's gonna catch
yeah.
it. I'll catch you another time. I got you.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
So that
and
I smell a feud coming with um Drew and CM Punk. I
Yeah,
smell a feud coming.
SummerSlam. SummerSlam, I think.
I get it. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
thinking SummerSlam. I was thinking about this earlier today before we move on to the next match. Um, I can see Drew winning it back at Clash at the Castle and holding it until next year's WrestleMania. And if Gunther doesn't win the Royal Rumble, maybe Punk does, or he wins Elimination Chamber 2025, and then that sets up a Punk McIntyre WrestleMania 41.
Hmm.
Right, right.
But
But you can't.
I'm just kind of throwing around theories a little early,
No,
but I know I
hey,
can
there
see
ain't
that.
there ain't nothing wrong with throwing theories around her a little early. That's what
Yep,
we
that's
all
what we
do.
do. Exactly. Well, next match that one of the cross and I already addressed the Philadelphia Street Fight, in which Bubba Ray Dudley, was a great surprise, a great
Nah, I
appearance.
think Snoop saved that fight. To be completely honest,
Snoop probably did. He probably did.
Yeah,
I got to be honest. And I know you may have enjoyed it, Jay, but we're allowed to have different opinions. I was not a fan of the Philadelphia Street Fight. I thought it was
It was,
crazy
you know, and
chaotic.
it was a filler match.
Yeah,
It was a filler match. I just thought it was a little bit better than we thought it would be. I see what
and
they were trying to do because they're in Philadelphia. Paul Heyman's in the Hall of Fame. Bubba
yeah,
Ray's the referee. They tried to bring an ECW aspect to it, like somehow. You know what I mean? But
and
they
they
didn't.
should have
They
went to
almost came out of
bathrooms
ECW
and
like
everywhere else and out the stadium. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, WCW, Kevin Sullivan and Chris Benoit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a street fight. That's a Raw or Triple H and HBK
yeah,
outside the damn
yeah.
arena. You know what I mean? Like those are street fights. It was a good match though, but I wasn't like, okay, you should have brought more to the table with the street fight.
I
yeah.
mean,
No, no, no.
Bobby
I get
Bobby Lashley though, dude, that dude is so jacked. He eats a rotisserie chicken for a snack, man. Like that dude's
it. Oh yeah,
he's
absolutely.
jacked, dude. Like Jesus,
And speaking of big matches here, so LA Knight in his biggest
that's my guy.
victory to date defeats AJ Styles by
Yeah,
pinfall in a matchup that I think lived up to the
Yeah,
hype.
yeah. He's my favorite WWE wrestler active right now. I love LA Knight. He needed that win. I told Jay before I thought that Logan was going to retain at WrestleMania because I thought they were going to set it up that LA Knight was going to be the one to dethrone him, and I'm sticking with it. I think that's the guy that's going to beat Logan Paul. I think LA Knight becomes the U.S. champ. So loved it.
Okay, and we'll address the U.S. title match here in a second. Billy, what was your thoughts about the match?
hey, I loved it, man. LA Knight, like he said, he nailed it on the point. He deserved it. He needed it just to get his momentum back up because
Mhm.
everybody's trying to knock him down. You know what I mean? So I suspect that he's going to be in that U.S. title future shot to be the man to say, "Let me talk to you."
Yeah,
Yeah,
Love him, man. He's a must
absolutely.
see.
Yeah. He's definitely must see TV. So, with that being part, now speaking of Logan Paul, in what I think was the wrong move of the weekend, Logan
Hmm.
Paul retained the United States title, defeating Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I I
You
did
wanted
not see a
Kevin.
reason why. I did not see a reason why they didn't take the belt off of him but you know what? Maybe they wanted to give him a WrestleMania moment, and that's fine. It's just he's a part timer. And shout out to my guy Martez Turner. He had a different opinion on this. He was like, they made the right call. I was like, I think that they both got what they needed from each other. He needed to build his brand for Prime and for Impulsive. WWE needed more popularity and needed another social media star. They got what they needed. The man had the belt for 166 days and barely defended it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
come on, time to give it back to a full timer. I don't know. Maybe y'all feel
Right,
different. What was your thoughts, Billy?
man. First off, I did love the entrance of not Logan Paul because I'm not a Logan Paul fan. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody says. He could be the next HBK. I didn't like HBK. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, God, dude. Go
So,
ahead.
um, I did like the entrance where Kevin was like, "Hey, come on, buddy. Come on, hop
That
on
was
the back of
funny.
my golf cart." That was hot. And they were going like 35, 45 miles down that damn aisle. So that was pretty good. But like he is not worthy because he's not defended it, and all you see him is in like major PLEs or pay-per-views, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't see him on SmackDown defending it. Like Gunther, I don't know why I keep saying Walter. I'm just so used to Walter. He keeps just hiding behind the scenes because he's like such a big celebrity, big star. So like I was disappointed. And then Randy Orton when he took out Prime, what's his name?
Yeah,
I
dude. I
Speed.
had to Google it to be honest. I didn't know who I
I
Should
did
Speed
too.
was.
I
I was
Well,
Speed
like,
or
who is
something like
that
that.
guy? You know?
Yeah, and
I was
then
like, I felt like an old girl dad watching it. I was like, who is this guy? Like, I don't even know who I Should
yeah.
Speed is, but
dude, I'm an
you
old
know.
girl dad too, man. I got 4 kids. I don't worry about it. I'm an old dad too. So um but when he put him on the table and he was just like whoop, 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 and
Best moment of
arcade
the
him,
match.
I was like,
Best
what
moment
the
of the
fuck?
match.
It barking. But I don't believe in him retaining the belt, man, because KO had it a little like he had it like twice, and then Randy had it like 3 times. Like he could have just stole that belt right underneath him. Like
Yeah,
oof. But somehow, some way, this sneaky little
Yeah, I mean, I
guy
my
takes it
thoughts are pretty
away again.
Mhm. Go ahead, Tyler.
my thoughts are simple, and I don't like Logan Paul. I don't think a lot of us don't like Logan Paul. You know, I don't like the Paul brothers in general. So Jake Paul, Logan Paul, I don't f with any of them. I just think that Logan, they were going to let him win because, like I said, I think the plan is to have LA Knight take the belt off of Logan.
Yes, sir.
That's yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely
that's
right, Tyler. I
that,
agree.
that's what WWE wants. I mean, I would have loved to see Kevin or Randy win. Sure, I didn't really think Randy needed to win necessarily. I think he's almost too big for the belt at this
Right.
stage in his career.
Yeah.
But Kevin would have been a cool moment. I thought it was possible that it could have happened because of Sammy, what kind of giving him that little good luck, to Kevin, just like Kevin did to him the night before. Yeah, I stick with it. I think LA Knight's gonna be the guy that takes the belt off of Logan, and it's
Fair
coming.
enough. Fair enough. All right, and real quick, before we get on to the main event, Bailey finally got her just due and defeated Io Sky by pinfall to win the WWE Women's Championship. Real quick thoughts. Long time coming for Bailey. Tyler,
Yeah, yeah, loved it. Loved the moment for Bailey. Actually thought this match was really good.
it was.
I thought Io did really good. Me and Cliff were talking about it. Io was great in this match.
Yeah.
And Bailey was the rightful winner, and that's who they should have gave it to. I actually thought this match was really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was the right call, and the match lived. I thought the build up could have been better going into this WrestleMania a little bit more instead of like group attacks from Damage Control every week. But then when I actually watched the match itself, I was like, oh wow, Io's actually doing a hell of a job. So yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And then real quick, Billy, your thoughts?
Hey, real quick, like you said, real quick. Hey, I loved it. It was great. I enjoyed Bailey winning it, and I appreciate Bailey giving a shout out to my Jada Stone, indie wrestler. Okay,
Yeah.
Nice.
she gave her a shout out. She was rocking her shirt, everything. Jada Stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
telling you, Jada Stone. She's the spark, and she's in NXT right now. But other than that, she deserved it. Like she really did. She needed to get her revenge, her retaliation, because she thought they were family, but they weren't. So there's your real quick.
All right. And now we know there's only one match left. So we're going to do something a little different here, okay? So I'm
Okay.
going to move Billy to this slot. And I'm
Oh,
going to let you introduce this topic because I know you've been waiting for 4 long years for this. As the biggest Roman Reigns hater I know. I know you have been waiting on this. We've gone back and forth. We tagged each other on stuff. And I know, Billy, this is your moment. This man right here finally finished his story. Billy, please take it away.
okay. All I'm saying is, I am just ecstatic. I am speechless. I am momentless. Like, I thought that Roman was going to dethrone, or not dethrone, but take away Cody's story. But it ended up, I don't know. Long story short,
Oh, okay.
because of the fact is, freaking Roman Reigns is done. There is no more bloodline. Well, there could be a new bloodline, but there is no more Roman. No more Roman. Let me tell you this. And when he says, I am the number one hater of Roman, I've never liked him since FSW, Florida State Wrestling, WWE. I never liked him at all. The Shield. Okay, yeah. Roman got his revenge on Seth because Seth took that chair years back and slammed him in the back. So Roman slammed him in the back, vice versa. Then he had some John Cena with The Rock, and that was awesome. You know what I'm saying? And then, man, The Rock looked like he saw a ghost. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, speaking
The,
of ghosts, go ahead.
it looked like he saw a ghost, and he's just like, where's that MFer at? Where he at? He better not come out here right now. Where he at? And then I think it was the second dong.
The
After
second
the
dong,
second
yeah.
dong, the lights came back on, and then Undertaker was like, Rock thought he was gonna get him with that belt. No. It's Cody's moment. It ain't Roman's moment. So we've been fussing and fighting about Roman, and everybody on the thread, they hate me. I don't care. I hate Roman. That's all it is to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like him. I never did, never will. I've always liked Dean and Seth more than I did him. So,
Mhm.
but it was Cody's moment, and then he kept looking in the sky to his dad, and that was just like so fucking, excuse my French, but that was just like so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like he just praying to his dad or just looking to him, like, Dad, I did it. I finished it. After 6,111 days that he wanted that belt,
Yeah.
from what I was reading. You know what I mean? He debuted in 2007. And then you have Samantha Irvin, the announcer.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
got emotional, real
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah, she
That
did.
was
So
cool. That was cool.
it was just an emotional time, an emotional moment. And that's my intake because I want to, like you did, gave a shout out to Mans Martez. Um, want to give a shout out to Juanitas.
Yep.
So, hey, she already know, like, yo, That was hot. It was Cody's time. She's also a Roman hater. I wonder what's going to be next for Roman. I'm
Got
going to hand it to
Movies.
Tyler and then you.
Go ahead, Tyler, real quick.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to hop off here in a second. Anyway, I got a little girl to put to bed right now.
Okay.
But
Don't we
yeah,
all?
I loved it, man. I loved how this went. I thought Cody absolutely deserves this moment. He's worked his ass off, for years and going through all these character changes and being kind of made fun of in a way when he was Stardust for a while. Um, Went to AEW, put on bangers AEW before coming over to WWE, and making a name for himself. I thought it was really cool. He came out with Brandy.
And then he's got the haters.
Honestly,
Hmm.
I loved the ending of the match. I loved that everyone came out there. They kind of blew by Roman. None of them
Yeah.
even acknowledged Roman when Roman was moping up the ramp. You didn't see one of them. They just all came charging the ring to be happy for Cody. I'm really excited to see what's next now, though. Like, because I can't even tell you who's going after Cody now. You know what I
Jacob
mean? I don't
Fatu.
know.
Jacob
Who?
Fatu.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe. I was thinking that maybe he would have showed up last night, but he didn't. I actually even thought like maybe Rikishi would have showed up last night. I just
Right.
didn't
Yeah,
see
I
him.
was surprised he didn't show up.
Yeah, I was just name. I didn't think Stone. I never thought Stone Cold was going to show up. I knew Cena would, but like when people were saying Stone Cold to me, I was like, but I did not have Undertaker showing up on my
Me
bingo
neither.
card. That was
Me
that was a
neither. No,
surprise.
I'm not
Yeah,
even going to lie. I testify to that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So overall, loved it, man. Super cool. I've watched a lot of reaction videos from people too today, just because it's, everyone's been waiting for this moment, and I really, honestly, truly think they couldn't have gave it to the better, better guy. I thought Cody really deserved it. Um, I thought he should have won last year at WrestleMania. I told Jay before, I thought they kind of missed the ball on that. It was their
They
opportunity
did.
last year. But I'm
Hmm.
Yep.
glad that it finally happened. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not taking away the moment. I thought last year was the moment that they should have
Yeah, that
gave
was
it
the
to.
time.
But regardless, I'm glad it happened.
I'm with you on that one, Tyler. It did happen a year, and I know somebody's gonna say like, "Oh, well, sour patches." You're gonna. I'm not raining on anything. I've said this for months that this came a year too late.
I agree.
It
Yeah.
came a year too late, especially since it was reported that he was going to win last year, but they changed their mind at the last minute.
Yeah. Triple H
Nonetheless,
did.
though,
Yeah.
awesome moment for him. Obviously, the emotions were in it with Samantha Irvin.
With everybody.
Uh, the Shield winning. The crazy part in long term storytelling. The crazy part is during the matchup. I'll go real quick. Roman Reigns grabbed a chair. He could have
Mm.
hit Cody and ended the match. Instead,
Yep.
he chose to get revenge on Seth Rollins by
So,
hitting him in the back with the chair for
and
turning
that's
on
going to
him
be
and
the
breaking up
next
the Shield.
story.
Yeah. Yep. So I know Triple H said that support that Roman's gonna be involved in a new story and everything. I still think that a Rock Reigns SummerSlam is going to happen somehow.
Yeah.
Seeing as that it
Okay.
wasn't a setup, I think my hypothesis is
It's too
Roman's
bad
gonna.
Taker couldn't get in there though. That would be sick. But I
Yeah,
know that ain't happening. I know
yeah. We can all dream, right? But I think
that.
Right.
I think Roman's gonna come out there and somehow blame Rock for the loss, and then that's gonna split them up. But no, overall, awesome match. The match went 33 minutes, rightfully so. The tag match shouldn't have went 44 minutes, but this
Yeah.
Nope.
match going 33 minutes, I didn't have a problem with. Billy, I know you were ecstatic. You were waiting on that moment for years and years, so I
What?
had to.
What?
Go ahead.
Here's Billy, real quick. What Jay did to Jimmy in this match was better than their match at WrestleMania.
Oh, when he speared him off the stage,
It
yes,
was better than their WrestleMania match. Is that
yeah.
Okay.
sad? That's sad a
Yeah.
little bit, but
I
Oh no,
got you.
yeah, well, that's all that we have, and thank you two gentlemen for coming on and doing the recap with me. Billy, always a pleasure. Tyler, you already know what it is, man. Four Horsemen, and I know you got a little girl to put to bed.
yep,
And Monday Night Raw's coming up here in about like 3 minutes. I got the thread
yep.
all posted. So everybody out there,
Oh, you
thank
already
you.
know.
Uh,
I'll be
uh,
in there.
Absolutely. But everybody out there, thank you for joining us for Top Rope Talk, and we will see you next Monday for more wrestling takes and recaps. Later.